really appreciate the care and the understanding that you've shown to Sarah.
Well, it's been our pleasure. Of course, we haven't seen much of her since your husband came to town.
Roger is my ex-husband.
Oh, of course, of course. You said you've been wanting to talk to me about Sarah for a long time?
Yes, look, why don't we just go over here and talk? Sarah told me that she chose you as her therapist after that terrible accident that left you blind.
Well, she turned my whole life around. I mean, as long as I live, I'll always be in her debt. Not that she sees it that way, but it's the way I look at it. In fact, I really consider her part of the family.
Well, that's the way she feels about the Buchanans, too. Which is why I think it's time that I told you the whole truth about Sarah.
Okay, for a little bit, Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Dennis.
All it needs is a little polish.
You think maybe we could do that later?
Sure. Wonder what it sounds like.
Well, let's see. Not bad. You know, I was figuring we could do more private parties if we had this big old clunker here so that people could accompany themselves, but I think that our purpose is much more important.
Hello, hello!
Hello! How are y'all doing? All right. You look fabulous.
I'll second that.
Well, thank you very much. But I would like to know why you told me to get all dressed up and rush over here.
Well, it is my pleasure. Tonight is your night. Garretson, I've decided to turn you into a star.
What is she doing in there? Turn this thing off right away. Brenda?
Oh,
All right, take it easy.
I'm sorry, no, I just fainted.
All right, take it out. Okay.
Of course I have met Dennis and his lovely wife, Vera, but I didn't know you were working here, too.
I haven't been here very long.
No, but he's going to stay a long time. He is incredible.
If you'll excuse me, there's some electrical work I have to do in the basement.
Oh, wait a minute. Nobody goes anywhere until I find out what's going on.
Don't look at me. I have no idea what's going on.
Wanda, if you have made an appointment with a former client, I appreciate it, but I am not in the dress business anymore.
I know that.
And I don't have the time or the money to fight Gabrielle in court, nor the heart to start a whole new company again.
I know that. Gabrielle has done enough to make you lose heart, but what I'm concerned with here is your career, your singing career.
What singing career?
But you were so depressed when you turned down Rob's offer to sing at the club.
Yeah, well, I had good reasons to turn Rob down.
Yeah, but then why'd you change your mind?
What's the difference, Wanda? He has another singer already. I mean, it wasn't in my cards. I was meant to be a good wife and a mother, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
No. I know about cards. If you dealt a bad hand, you just turn them in and you get another hand. And have I got a hand for you? I want you to sing here, tonight, for my customers.
Sing here tonight?
Well, what is the big problem? You look like $1 million, and I got customers coming here for dinner, so why not sing for them?
Wanda, no! You're out of your mind. You have really lost it this time.
What do you mean I've lost it? People said I lost it when I opened this place, and look how it's turned out. I just tell you that if you sing here tonight, I promise you, you will be singing at Rob's on his opening night.
I was going to write about this in a letter to you, but I think it's the kind of thing I should tell you in person.
Well, here we are, face to face.
Yeah, well, please don't tell Sarah I told you about this. I mean, unless she brings it up herself.
Well, does she know about whatever it is you're going to tell me?
Oh, yes, of course. I just think that she might be upset that I've broken her confidence, but I think that you're entitled to know that you turned her life around.
I did?
Yes, she was going to give up her job as a therapist for the blind. She was in despair. I mean, your case was going to be the last one that she took on.
Well, with all the grief I gave her, I'm surprised it wasn't.
Yeah, well, she did say that you were sort of a challenge, but it just made her more determined to stick it out. And she told me that she learned as much from you as you learned from her, and that led to her wanting to rededicate her life to helping those who needed her skill and her expertise.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm surprised and pleased, of course, and very touched. Thank you for telling me.
Oh, you're so lucky. You have a daughter that trusts you so much that she can reveal her feelings to you.
Yes, Sarah and I have always been very close. When she went away to college, I thought we might lose that closeness, but I'm happy to say that that didn't happen.
Sarah and Megan seem so different. Is that just because I know Sarah better than I know Megan?
No, they are very different, and that's kept me on my toes. Everyone has already read the materials that I've handed out, so whenever you're ready to start the lecture.
I'll be right there.
You two will stay, won't you?
Oh, yes. Yes, of
Thanks
course.
so much. Well, what do you think? Do you think one of the girls might be Vicky's daughter and not Carrie's?
I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I still need some more time to talk to. You want to stay?
Sure enough. We might be able to get a greater sense of Miss Gordon from her lecture.
Well, whatever happens, when this lecture is over, I'm going to have a very private little talk with Mrs. Gordon.
Just take it easy. Come on.
No, I'm okay now. I'm feeling a lot better here.
Well, are you experiencing any nausea, dizziness?
No, I was a little queasier early in the day, and then I started feeling a little bit better, and then I started feeling really weird, and I just fainted in there, but I'm okay now. Thanks, Larry. What I need to do, I think, is just go home and get some rest.
No, you just stay right there.
No, please, don't you and Dr. Franklin have something a little more pressing to do
Brenda,
around
listen,
here?
when you were in that X-ray
I was reading the letter from Max, and I kind of got upset about it, and I think that's what caused me to faint on top of having some morning sickness.
Morning sickness? Are you pregnant?
Yeah, I am.
We got the machine turned off.
What the hell went wrong?
The timer and backup timer malfunctioned.
What, they don't test these things before they send them to us?
Yes, sir, they did.
Yeah, well, someone was obviously asleep during the tests, or else it was somehow damaged in transit.
It was damaged on the loading dock.
We dropped the machine.
What? And you still brought it into the hospital?
We knew there was a chance that the timer was damaged, but we were sure that the backup was operational. And we thought that we could repair it.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that that machine was on when I was in that room? When I was exposed to radiation in there? How much? How long was I in there before you...
If I had known it was in there...
How much?
I want an answer from you right now.
It's going to be hard to
Look, I want a complete assessment of the situation. Get it?
All right, Brenda, listen to me. The human body can withstand a great deal of radiation before it suffers any consequences.
What are the consequences going to be to this child? I cannot lose this baby. I cannot lose this child that I'm...
Being so late, I took a wrong turn and ended up somewhere near the airport.
Well, I'd better get you a better map of land view.
I'm so embarrassed. I invite you to dinner, and then I keep you waiting.
It's okay. I haven't been here that long. What would you like to drink?
White wine, dry.
White wine for the lady, dry, and I will have a scotch and soda. You look very pretty.
Well, thank you. And thank you for allowing me to show my gratitude for your rescuing me in Monte Carlo.
You know, it isn't necessary, but I am grateful for the invitation. You know, I realize I haven't been out for weeks, except for your aunt's party.
Is that because you're busy with the renovations for your club, or because you just didn't want to go out? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. It's a bad habit of mine to say whatever comes to my head. Annalicia's trying to teach me to be more subtle, but I'm afraid of the losing battle.
It's okay. I like openness and honesty. It saves wear and tear on the psyche, not having to guess what someone really means.
Someday you're going to regret saying that.
I doubt it. Is this your aunt's magazine?
Mm-hmm. The latest copy of International Flair.
Am I going to find your name in here?
Oh, of course. Right there.
Ah, Coco Lane, editorial assistant. Very good. My ex-wife used to read this. It was one of her favorites.
Does she live in Landview?
She used to. She's moved to Europe now for a while. Ooh, these pictures are wonderful.
That layout was my idea, and so was this one. Annalicia's a great believer in giving her staff a lot of freedom. She says it makes people more creative.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just another terrible habit of mine. Talking too much. Especially about things I love, like this magazine. But I have so many wonderful ideas for it. There I go again.
What? No, I think it's great that the real Coco Lane is a hard-working career woman and not the reckless gambler I met in Monte Carlo. So go ahead and talk. I want to know more about you.
It is your chance to undo a mistake. And also think of how much money I have laid out for the accompanist and how much money you have laid out for a babysitter.
Wanda, if you're trying to make me feel guilty, forget it. If you want money for the accompanist, I will give it to you.
All I want is for you to give a little concert of your favorite songs. Come on, it'll be fun.
Prepared. I can't.
Well, you did it for Michael Grand.
Yeah, but that was different. It was a private party. I'm not ready to perform in public yet.
This is heavenly hash. This is not public. You just do it for me and Dennis and a couple of customers.
No, Wanda, I can't.
Oh, come on. Now, you pinch hit it for Michael Grand, and you hit a home run. And believe me, if you sing here tonight, your career's going to take off like a comet, because there is a fella that is coming here tonight who can really do that for you. If you can see, he has reservations for 2 for tonight.
No, that's not going to work, Wanda.
Why are you being so negative?
I'm being realistic. Rob has hired another singer, one that's going to work for him for months.
Oh, come on now. It's in the grapevine. It's all over the grapevine that he's having a lot of problems with that act.
How do you know that?
Well, the crew comes in here, the guy that's, the guys that are working on the renovation for Stars, and they have their lunch here, and they kind of fill me in that there's little problems with the contract with the new act.
Oh, yeah, but that's just a game that every performer plays.
No. Rob is just about ready to call it quits with her. If you give him the slightest bit of inspiration, he will want you to just sign on the dotted line. Come on, you can do it.
No, Wanda. I just don't think I can.
Well?
I think she's considering it.
Wanda tells me you're a great singer. You know, I'd really love to hear you sing sometime. Like tonight.
Oh, what the hell? Let's go for it. How could anybody be that irresponsible?
Believe me, they'll answer for this.
What good is that gonna do, Doctor? The damage has already been
Brenda,
done, hasn't it?
There not necessarily has been any damage to you or the baby.
I was in that room and the machine was on.
Yeah, but the timer was damaged, Brenda. If the timer was damaged, maybe the whole machine was damaged. Maybe it was just the power light that was faulty, or maybe there was no radiation emitted, or if there was, you were out of danger, out of the range of it.
Well, what if I was in the range?
Well, let's just wait and see.
Brenda?
Gilroy, I want you to call admissions and get a room for Brenda right away.
Yes, Doctor. You're expecting the worst, aren't you?
I'm just being cautious. It's not a bad idea while you're here to run some tests. Maybe we could, at the same time, we can curb the morning sickness and the fainting spells.
Larry, those are little inconveniences that I can deal with, but I don't know this radiation thing.
Honey, I know, it's scary. It's very frightening, but let's just take one step at a time until the results come in.
3 West, room 304.
Okay, great.
Can you walk? Yes, I can.
Well, let's get a wheelchair anyway.
Listen, I want you to come and get me the minute you hear.
Brenda, I'll be right up there. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rob?
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
If that machine was functioning, how much radiation do you think she got?
She probably got 100 times the normal amount she would have gotten had we were taking routine pictures, but the machine was at the maximum setting.
And those 2 technicians still brought the machine in here. I'm telling you, if there's any damage to Brenda or the baby, I'm coming after those 2.
I'm also going to advise him to get a good lawyer, because believe me, they're going to need it. Look, let's run some tests, see what we come up with. Maybe we'll be lucky.
Well, it certainly wasn't a waste of time. I found it very inspiring.
Yes, she certainly does give one something to think about.
I even took notes. I can't wait to use some of this stuff in my relationship with Asa. And I can't wait to hear about your little visit with Miss Gordon.
You don't mind not joining us?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. But don't be surprised if you aren't able to pry any secrets out of her. Good luck.
Thanks.
Hey, this is one of my old books. Listen, I'm going to be at the Landview Mall tomorrow studying my new one, so if you're interested, I'll see you there.
Great, thanks.
Mr. Buchanan, would you excuse me for a second? Thank you.
Well, congratulations. You certainly made a lot of believers out of these people.
Can I count you as one of them?
Well, I got to admit, I was very impressed.
That's not exactly what you expected, was it?
No, but it was very fascinating. How about a cup of coffee? I've got a few questions I'd like to ask you.
Well, sure, I'd love that. As you know by now, I love discussing my theories.
Well, to be real honest with you, my questions are about your ex-husband.
In that case, I'm going to take a rain check. I never discuss him with anyone.
Mrs. Gordon, please. This is very important to me and to my family. Now, Roger claims to have known my wife several years ago, but she has no recollection of ever having met her. And she's also found out that Roger had a very close connection with her father, Victor Lord. But Roger has never mentioned that to her. Can you explain why?
Why don't you ask Roger?
We have asked him, but we weren't very satisfied with his answers, and we were hoping that you might be able to fill in some of the spaces.
Forgive me for interrupting, but there are several ladies from Philadelphia who like to talk to you before they catch a train back home.
Okay, I'll be right there.
You can go ahead. I don't mind waiting. That is, unless you just don't want to answer my questions.
Look, Mr. Buchanan, I don't know if I can answer your questions.
Will you at least try?
Look, this might take a while. Can I meet you, say, in an hour?
Yes. Where?
The Waterside Inn and the restaurant?
Fine. I will see you in an hour.
All right, come on. I want to hear your confession.
Well, I invited you to dinner because I want to know all about running a nightclub.
You want to go into the nightclub business? What about your magazine career?
No, I don't want to own a club or run one. I was thinking of publicizing your activities in the next edition of International Flair.
Why?
Well, there's something so exciting and glamorous about watching a nightclub grow from conception to reality. And I think our readers will find it fascinating. That's if you allow me to do the feature.
Well, I'm very flattered, and I could use all the publicity I can get.
Great, then I'll do it. And if you say anything that you don't want printed, you just let me know and it's off the record.
Thank you. Are you going to write the article?
No. But I need to know enough so that I can tell the writer what angle to take. I was thinking about something like, stars.
That's not the name of the club anymore.
I thought it was.
Well, it is now, but I want to change it.
Why?
New decor, new lights, and I want to convey the idea that something new and exciting is happening in town.
Well, what do you plan to call it?
I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Let's see. What about panache or etoile?
This is Landview, not Paris.
I know, but a continental touch would be sort of chic.
Your heart still belongs in Paris, doesn't it? And I suppose with a name like Coco, you are part French?
No, I am not. I'm pure California. I changed my name when I moved to Paris. It's actually a shortened French version of, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Constance.
Well, what about conning? Isn't that what the kids called you when you were growing up?
Yes, but it's so beige, so ordinary. I wanted a name that would convey a certain feeling, just like you want to do with your nightclub. Should we order another drink or go to dinner?
I'm starving. I think we should go to dinner.
Okay. Oh, wait. I just thought of a great name for your club. What about Robbie's?
I don't think so.
Hello?
Roger, it's Carrie.
What's the problem?
Clint Buchanan came to my lecture this afternoon.
Carrie, I gave you this number in case of an emergency. I don't give a damn who attends your lectures.
Roger, he was asking me questions about you and Viki.
Well, you didn't tell him anything, did you?
No, of course I didn't, but he's very persistent. Listen, you know how much I hate having to keep a secret. I almost told Meg and Sarah the truth this morning.
Oh, God, you didn't.
No, I did not. But it's very difficult having to be dishonest with my own daughters.
Look, Carrie, you promised to give me time to investigate Michael Grand.
Yes, I know, but now they are being very persistent. Clint is being very persistent.
Carrie, you've always known how to get what you want. You teach that in your books and lectures. Now, you use those special skills now to keep the man off your back, at least until I get back from Paris.
How long will that be?
I'm not sure. Carrie, look, I'm working on some new information about Michael that may put a cap on the whole thing. Now, you must keep your promise or all hell will break loose. I know Clint. He's hot-tempered and unpredictable, and if you tell him the truth, he may go public with it, and that would put our daughters in jeopardy. Now, you don't want that, do you?
Of course not.
Okay, well, then you do all you can to resist his questions. And I'll get back as soon as I've gotten the information on Michael that I need.
I'll try, Roger. I'll really try. Goodbye.
Is she holding up okay?
Well, so far so good, but I think we better get this show on the road before she gets cold feet. Okay, everything under control here?
Oh, one of my hands won't stop shaking.
Well, put them in your pocket. Nobody will notice.
No.
Are you ready?
I think so. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, no, darling, this is not a one-way street. If you're as big a hit as I think you're going to be, then it's going to be a lot of business for me, too.
Well, I hope I can make you lots of money.
Oh, yeah, I hope so, too, and I hope he comes, and I hope he just hires you.
Well, I hope I don't run out of songs before he gets here.
Well, if you do that, you just start at the top and go all over again. Okay, break a leg. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Okay, nobody panic, don't panic, it's not a fire. Okay, I just want to tell you that I've decided today to do a new kind of entertainment here, a little live music and song, if it's okay with all of you. Okay. Okay, the ayes have it, and the nays, of course, can pay their check on the way out the door. Just kidding. Okay. Now, it is with great warm wishes and pleasure that Heavenly Hash presents the incredible Delilah Garrettson. Yay!
Thank you. Oh, I hope I can make you happy. No one to talk to all by myself. No one to walk with, I'm heavy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you.
All right. Express bus leaving in 2 minutes. All aboard?
You and Dr. Franklin come to conclusion, Larry?
Yeah, we'd both like to beat the tar out of those two technicians down in radiology, but we decided to let the hospital attorneys do it.
How much radiation was I exposed to?
We don't know yet, Brenda.
You're telling me that those technicians don't have any idea
They would be
about it.
guessing, and I got to tell you, right about now, I don't think I would trust those two to tell me the time of day.
Listen, you don't have to be like this with me because I know the danger that I'm facing
Potential
here.
danger. It could turn out you weren't exposed at all.
But if I was, God. I don't know why I just couldn't have been honest about my condition, Larry. I've been feeling lousy. Why didn't I take your advice and take a leave of absence and go home and
Now,
take care of
listen to me.
myself?
I'm not going to let you beat yourself up like that. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was an accident. Now, let's get down to radiology, because I'm betting on some good news.
You know, I've been sitting here and I'm just waiting for the weakness and the nausea, and it doesn't...
And it hasn't happened. That's a good sign, isn't it?
But if I was exposed
Brenda, there
to
are a thousand what ifs. Let's just hope for a good prognosis, okay? Listen to me. You have been strong and had more faith than anyone I've ever known. Don't lose that.
Would you hold me just for a little bit? I need help.
Yeah.
Brenda, we're ready for you now. Hey, listen, I'm gonna be fine. I am, Brenda.
Hey.
Baby's gonna be fine, too.
Okay.
Police car outside. What's wrong?
There's nothing wrong, honey. Rafe stopped by one of his damn fool notions, brought Herb along to muscle me into going along with him.
Along with, about what?
Randy Stone is still at large. Since Bo has replaced him as producer on Fraternity Row, I think Bo needs protection.
What he means is he wants to call out the Marines to guard this place.
We're talking a few undercover guys dressed as gardeners or whatever.
It's the middle of dead winter, Rafe. You don't start gardening till the spring thaw.
Asa, the man could be a psychotic. We can't ignore the danger he might pose to your son.
Darling, if Bo is going to be living with us, and there is a potential threat, don't you think we should do what we can to protect him?
I can protect my family. I don't need a detail of cops bivouacked on my front lawn.
We want to put a man in the front gate and one in the house.
Darling, I don't think that's excessive.
Honey, it's a waste of time and money. My time and my tax dollars.
We're talking about Bo's life.
I know that. But I'm not trusting it to the Keystone cops.
Oh, now what the hell does that mean?
I'll tell you what it means, Rafe. I don't have any faith in your boys. They blew it when they were supposed to protect Tina from Ursula Blackwell. The chick waltzes into Landfair with a rigged wedding cake and kills Steve Holden.
The Ursula Blackwell case was the exception, Asa, not the rule.
She almost killed half of Landview. That's a mighty big exception.
Everybody dropped the ball on that one, including me, Asa. It's not going to happen again.
You're right. Because I'm not letting your boys blow another one. I will protect my own. I don't need your help, and I sure as hell don't want it.
Whoa, wait a bit. Let's table this discussion until we're both a little more calm.
That's fine with me. I got other cases to deal with.
I tell you, he can never take criticism about his police department.
He can take it if it's justified.
Meaning mine isn't.
Rafe's men can protect Bo.
I will protect Bo.
Now, Asa...
End of discussion.
Gives new meaning to the word stubborn.
Asa is not as stubborn as he seems.
But this is his son's life we're talking about. Now, maybe the threat won't materialize, but if it does, Bo is going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Maybe so. And browbeaten Asa is not going to change his mind.
And making excuses for him will only exacerbate the problem.
And if you and Rafe understood Asa...
Understood? Renee, I've known Asa for a long time. He has some wonderful qualities, I grant you, and some that aren't so wonderful. The worst is his belief there are only two ways to do things. His way and the wrong way. You can kick me out for saying this, but I consider you a friend. I care about you, and I think if you keep on encouraging that attitude, your marriage is going to end up in a lot of trouble.
You're right. I should kick you out for that remark, and maybe I will.
I apologize for speaking out of turn. It won't happen again.
No, please. I appreciate your concern, and I'm very grateful that you consider me a friend.
Yes, well, I guess the best way for us to stay friends is for me to keep my opinion myself from now on.
Well, actually, I hope you won't. An objective opinion is helpful now and then, but in turn, I would like it very much if you could just be a little more patient with Asa.
You mean give in to it?
No. Just look a little deeper beneath the surface. Asa wasn't directing his anger at you and Rafe. He is feeling terribly guilty about Steve's death. He blames himself for not preventing the disaster.
I mean, if the police couldn't prevent it, there's no way Asa could have.
No. Part of him knows that. But his sense of family and honor that he inherited from Buck Buchanan won't let him admit it.
Code of the Old West, huh? Patron of the family protects his household with no outside interference.
I know it's terribly old-fashioned, but that code is a very big part of his makeup.
Are you telling me if we approach the situation from that perspective, he'll accept our help?
I think he will. It's certainly worth trying.
Patience, unfortunately, is not one of my better qualities.
It's a quality it took me a great deal of time to develop. Oh, Lordy, when I think of the mistakes that I have made. But thank goodness I've learned from most of them.
Well, apparently Ace has learned from some of his mistakes, too. If he had enough sense to marry you, then maybe there's hope for him after all. I've embarrassed you.
Oh, no, it's all right. Thank you for the compliment.
It's true. Ace is a very lucky man. Stubborn as a mule, but very lucky. I'll see myself out.
Bye.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there, yes, I will. You got a friend. Oh, you got a friend. Ain't it good to know you've got a friend? Ain't it good to know you've got a friend?
start having live entertainment.
Well, not to worry. I'm not going to go competing with your club. It's just that she was singing for Michael Grand, and that was so terrific. I begged her to come and sing here for us.
She was wonderful.
It's a pity you can't have her work over at your place. I mean, she really packs them in. Why don't you go sit at your table?
Okay, this is a little bit more rousing, I hope. For once in my life, I feel like I'm living a dream and a song. For once in my life, I can stand up and reach out. For once I feel I belong. For once I believe I've got something to offer, something straight from my heart. I can make a new start, and everyone here plays a part. Oh, for once in my life, I'm in no big hurry. I'm taking it all in stride. For once in my life, I know I won't worry. I've got the world on my side. For once I can say this is mine, you can't take it. With a song in my heart, I know I can make it. For once in my life, I've got something to
With the right lights and atmosphere, I bet you could wipe out half of Landview. You know, I bet you'd have people lined up around the corner waiting to get into your club to hear her sing. Don't you agree?
Oh, I think you're probably right. But I feel like there's some sort of conspiracy going on.
What conspiracy?
What conspiracy? Oh, this was no coincidence, Coco. When did you and Wanda team up?
I didn't team up with anyone. I don't even know Wanda. But I do know that Delilah Garrettson could be a big star. And you'd be a fool not to take advantage of her talents.
Isn't it rich? Aren't we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Sand in the clouds. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move.
I just thought of the perfect name for the club. The Tempest.
Sand in the clouds. Just when I stopped.
Gilroy will be picking up your clothes at the cottage.
Yeah, would you go check on those test results? Because, listen, Larry, I just can't stand this suspense anymore.
Dr. Franklin said he'd be up as soon as he got the results. In the meantime, why don't you just lie down, relax?
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
Well, what's the verdict?
It's still inconclusive, but the initial studies indicate you may have escaped radiation poisoning.
Oh. So I'm out of danger?
Well, no, not entirely, but we're hopeful that the studies are correct.
Oh. Dr. Franklin. I guess the Lord was listening to me, huh?
Brenda.
What? I know. You're not giving me a clean bill of health here. We have to wait a little while until the tests come in, but, boy, you made me feel like everything's going to be okay now.
Look, I have every hope that it will, but your situation is complicated by your pregnancy.
Right, but I thought that I had avoided any kind of, injury in there.
Well, we hope the fetus has too, but look, it's much more delicate than the adult body.
Oh my God, I just assumed
it's all right. There's no indications that the baby won't be healthy. Isn't that right, Bob?
That's right.
But there's a risk here. Now, how great is it, Doctor? Dr. Franklin, I am a nurse. I know what the worst possible scenario is. Now, could you please just give me one of your educated guesses here? You know, I want to know what possible risk there is to the baby.
We're in an unknown area here, Brenda. I mean, we don't know how much radiation a fetus can handle without injury. Any speculation on my part is just that, speculation.
You're head of radiology. I think you probably know what the risks are. Now, would you please tell me, Doctor?
There's a strong chance it could be healthy. There's an equally strong chance it could be physically or mentally impaired, or stillborn.
I've lost Steve. I can't lose this baby.
Hey, come on, we don't know anything for sure yet.
God, it's just so unfair. This baby is all I have left. And he means the world to me. Well, I'm just not gonna let it happen. I'm gonna give birth to this baby. And it's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be healthy and strong.
Okay, and I'm with you all the way, kid.
I owe that to Steve, and I owe it to myself. And I'm not gonna give in to this despair that I'm feeling right now. And I don't care what the odds are.
Coast clear?
Oh, Herb's gone, if that's what you mean.
If he comes back with Rafe and starts bugging me about turning this place into an armed camp, you tell him I'm not in.
Darling, I wish you hadn't dismissed the help so quickly.
I should have known. The silver-tongued DA got to you. There is nothing to worry about, honey.
Not if you're here. But what if you're at work or somewhere else? I mean, don't you think their offer is worth considering?
All right, all right. Make you happy, I'll think about it. Don't count on me changing my mind.
I won't. Not unless you don't tell me what's really upsetting you.
The fact that some kook is out there wants to harm my son isn't reason enough for me to be upset?
Not if you believe you have the situation under control.
Of course I do. I just wish I had control of this business of Viki searching for a long-lost daughter.
Ah, so that's it.
I tell you, Renee, it's like a flu epidemic. It's taken over this whole family.
Darling, you know Vicky's not going to give up until she finds that girl.
Oh, I thought Clint could put the brakes on it, but when I mentioned your speculation about Megan and Sarah, he hightailed it over to talk to that Carrie Gordon. Why aren't you surprised?
About what?
About me telling Clint that you believe one of the Gordon sisters is Vicky's daughter.
I ran into Clint after he left you.
I thought you had a guilty look. I suppose you told him to investigate every wild idea that anybody came up with.
Vicky and Clint are married. He has as much stake in finding her daughter as she does, and he agrees that my ideas are not so wild.
Did you go with Clint to bombard that Gordon woman with a lot of questions?
He felt that he'd get a little more information if he went alone. Darling, you can bury your head under the sand if you want to and pretend that Vicky doesn't have a daughter out there somewhere, but I'm going to help Vicky and Clint find her.
I just don't want Vicky hurt, like she was hurt by Leo and Christine. And I'm afraid that's exactly what's going to happen to her.
I prefer to be a little more optimistic about it. If and when she does find her daughter, darling, won't it be worth the disappointment she's suffered?
If she can find her. And I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And I know it isn't Megan or Sarah Gordon.
Well, you're right on time. I like people who are prompt.
Yes, so do I.
I ordered coffee, but if you prefer something from the bar...
No, coffee's fine, thank you.
So, did you sign more books for your many admirers?
Yeah, quite a few, as a matter of fact.
So tell me, how'd you get into the self-awareness business?
Well, it was necessity, really. After Roger and I divorced, I had to earn my own living, and one day I woke up and realized that the difficult times I'd been through had taught me quite a lot about adversity. So I decided to share what I learned with other people, show them how to deal with stress and how to apply their initiative to better, less stressful times in their lives.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Well, it certainly went better than I ever dreamed of, so I guess I must have been doing something right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a problem I'm coping with. It'll test your talents right to their limit.
Look, Mr. Buchanan, if it has something to do with Roger and your wife, I cannot help you. You told me yourself that this happened years ago, before I even met Roger.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I can't believe that you don't know the full story.
Oh, come on. There must have been some events in your life that you didn't tell your wife about before you were married.
All the important ones. And I assume that Roger would do the same thing with you, since it would have such an effect on your life.
What? That he knew Viki, that he'd met her father?
Mrs. Gordon, several years ago, Viki's father hired a hypnotist to completely wipe out 1 full year of her life. During that year, she had a lover. She gave birth to a baby girl who was taken away from her shortly after birth. Now, I have reason to believe that Roger was Viki's lover and that either Sarah or Megan is their daughter. Am I right, Mrs. Gordon?